welcome to the brand new video series called U.S. History, Cause, and Effect. The purpose of the series is pretty straightforward. We'll be looking at some of the biggest events in U.S. history and highlighting what caused it and what the long-lasting effects were. Hopefully this helps U.S. history students piece together these individual events and see how they connect in the big picture. Let's kick things off with the Compromise of 1850. So what was the Compromise of 1850 anyway? Well, as you may have guessed, the event occurred in the year 1850 when the U.S. Congress passed a package of bills with the ultimate goal of reducing tension between northern and southern states. So what caused the need for this compromise in the first place? Cause number one is that the northern and southern states had very different sets of values and beliefs, especially concerning slavery. And they were drifting further and further apart. So the main goal of these bills was to try and create some kind of compromise between the two sides and keep the United States, well, united. The economy of many southern states relied mostly on agriculture and growing crops like cotton and tobacco. And they felt in order to be competitive and remain profitable, they needed a large supply of free labor from slaves to grow and harvest those crops. Northern states had more diverse economies with logging, textiles, fishing, shipping, and many other industries in addition to agriculture, so the need for slavery was just not as big. Cause number two is the fear that the balance of power would shift, giving decision-making power to either the free states or the slave states. The Mexican-American War gave more land to the U.S. and expanded territory to the West, creating the potential for more future states. Whether they would be free states or slave states was super important regarding how the states would vote on future bills. Now for the event itself. So what to do with all this land? They clearly need to keep free states and slave states happy enough to continue as one country, but neither side is going to get everything they want, so here's what they did. The northern states scored a victory when California was admitted as a free state, giving them 16 free states compared to 15 slave states. The slave trade was also eliminated from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., but all of this came at a price. Slavery itself would be legal in D.C., and in exchange for California being a free state, the Utah and New Mexico territories, newly won from the Mexican-American War, would be under popular sovereignty, meaning that residents there could vote on whether slavery would be legal. The fugitive slave law was also introduced, meaning escaped slaves found in free states would legally have to be returned to their owners in the South. Overall, both sides got something they wanted, but gave up something to the other side as well. It was a true compromise, but there were some unforeseen effects of this seemingly acceptable compromise. Effect number one is tied to the popular sovereignty issue. What seemed like a fair way of determining if slavery would be legal in territories caused way more problems than it was worth over the course of the 1850s. When it was suggested the Kansas and Nebraska territories would be left to popular sovereignty, it caused massive violence as settlers on both sides of the slavery issue fought for control of the state. Popular sovereignty would not be effective in solving the slavery problem. Effect number two is largely a spin-off of effect number one, with varying opinions on how to handle slavery and keep the country together, or not. Several different candidates with several different viewpoints squared off in 1860 as part of one of the most important presidential elections in U.S. history. Abraham Lincoln won the election despite getting only 40% of the popular vote. Lincoln felt that opposing slavery was the best means to keep the country together, and although a significant portion of voters did not support Lincoln, they split their votes among three other candidates, handing the election to Lincoln. This is a very intense part of U.S. history, so I'm actually leaving you with just those two effects, because as you will see, the effects of the Compromise of 1850 are going to be some of the big stepping stones leading to the next major event in U.S. history. But that's a story for another video, so go study, and until next time, bye-bye. Stop Stop making noise.
Stop it.
No. I'm gonna pick up right here.
Oh, wait, what? Wait.
It's fine. It's fine. You're good. You're right in the right spot.
I know, but I can't move. Okay.
And Honish quiet now, and we're gonna stop. See, like, even that we can hear. Just, no, like, just. Okay. Hilarious. Gosh, I can't wait to have you in class next year.
I know.
Good luck.
Oh, shut up, Jenna.
Hey, what's up? I'm Mr. Honish. Welcome to U.S. History, Cause and Effect. Today's episode is... Couldn't see it, because Jenna can't scroll at a steady rate.
Yeah. Stop it. She's
Let's start it over.
She's done.